first thing she said was,
"You're not supposed to be home this early."
For a second, I thought someone had broken into my house. The voice came from downstairs, from the basement. My basement. My hands started shaking because my father had died 6 weeks ago. And before he died, he made me promise never to open that basement door. I walked downstairs slowly. The smell hit me first. Bleach, rust, something rotten underneath. Then I saw her, a woman chained beside an old mattress, thin, barefoot, long blonde hair. She looked terrified. Not of the basement, of me. "You look exactly like him," she whispered. I froze. "What the hell is this?" Her eyes widened. "You really don't know?" Then she said a name that made my blood turn cold. "My name is Ellie Harper." I nearly fell backward. Everyone in Oregon knew that name. Ellie Harper was the little girl who disappeared 9 years ago. "How long have you been down here?" I asked. Ellie looked confused. "Since his 2nd grade." I felt sick. "No, that's impossible." Then Ellie looked upstairs, and her face changed. "He comes at night now," she whispered. Every hair on my body stood up. "What are you talking about?" Then we heard footsteps upstairs, heavy footsteps, walking across my kitchen. I stopped breathing. That was impossible. I lived alone. The footsteps stopped directly above us. Then came 3 slow knocks on the basement door. Knock, 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 knock. Then a voice spoke. "Ethan?" It was my father's voice. The basement light suddenly shut off. Everything went black. Then Ellie grabbed my arm. "That's not your father," she whispered. I couldn't move. The basement door slowly opened upstairs. Footsteps moved toward the stairs. Slow, heavy, deliberate. Then a flashlight beam appeared in the darkness. A man started walking downstairs. I couldn't see his face, but I recognized the gray coat instantly. It belonged to my father. The man stopped halfway down the stairs, then smiled.
"You finally opened the door."
I grabbed a metal pipe from the floor. "Who are you?" I shouted. The man laughed softly. Then he stepped into the light, and my entire body froze. He looked exactly like my father. Not similar, exactly, same eyes, same voice, same scar near his jaw, but younger, maybe 40 years old. "This isn't possible," I whispered. The man smiled. "It is when your father wasn't really your father." My brain stopped working. Ellie suddenly screamed, "Don't let him touch you." The man lunged toward me. I swung the pipe blindly. The man dodged it easily, then punched me so hard I hit the basement wall. Everything blurred. Ellie screamed again. The man grabbed her chain violently. "You should have stayed quiet," he snapped. That was the moment I realized something horrifying. He wasn't trying to kill me. He was trying to take Ellie somewhere else, like this had happened before. I tackled him before he could move. We crashed into the stairs together. The flashlight spun across the basement. And for 1 second, I saw photographs scattered across the floor. Dozens of children, some crying, some unconscious. My stomach dropped. The man escaped upstairs. I chased him into the kitchen. Rain hammered against the windows. He grabbed my father's old car keys. Before leaving, he looked back at me calmly. "You still don't understand what your father built," he said. Then he disappeared into the storm. I locked every door in the house. Then I called the police. But when officers arrived, everything changed. The oldest officer in the room looked at Ellie and went pale. "Oh my God," he whispered. "You're still alive." Ellie looked terrified. "You know him too?" I asked. The officer stayed silent. That silence scared me more than anything else. At the police station, nobody answered my questions. Ellie sat silently beside me, wrapped in a blanket. Then Detective Morgan entered the room. The moment Ellie saw her, she started crying. Morgan looked shaken. "What is it?" I asked. Ellie pointed at the detective slowly. She used to visit the basement. The entire room went silent. Morgan's face turned white instantly. That's not true, she whispered. Ellie stared directly into her eyes. You brought him girls. My heart nearly stopped. Suddenly, Morgan reached for her gun, but another officer tackled her before she could pull it. The room exploded into chaos. The truth came out slowly. My father wasn't one man. He was part of a trafficking network that operated for decades across Washington and Oregon. The man in the basement wasn't my father. He was his biological son, my half-brother, raised inside the same operation. The police had buried evidence for years. Judges, officers, social workers, all connected. Ellie had survived because my father became obsessed with her. He kept her hidden instead of selling her. I felt physically sick hearing it. Everything I believed about my family collapsed in one night. Then Detective Morgan confessed something else. There are more basements. Federal agents raided properties across 3 states, and they found them. Hidden rooms, chains, cameras, records going back 27 years. The country exploded with outrage. News helicopters surrounded the courthouse. Parents screamed outside police stations demanding answers. But my half-brother vanished. No fingerprints, no phone records, no sightings. Like he disappeared into thin air. Ellie barely spoke anymore. Most nights she woke up screaming. Sometimes she would stare at the windows for hours, like she expected him to come back. And honestly, so did I. 3 months later, I sold the house. I couldn't even walk near the basement anymore. Ellie moved into a recovery center near Seattle. Doctors said it could take years before she trusted anyone again. The night before I left town, I returned to the property one last time. Rain covered the woods behind the house. Everything felt dead. Then I noticed something near the basement window, fresh footprints. My chest tightened. Someone had been there recently. I slowly looked down and saw a piece of paper taped against the glass. My hands started shaking before I even opened it, because I recognized the handwriting instantly. It belonged to my father. The note said, "You only found the first girl." I stopped breathing. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered slowly. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Then a calm, familiar voice whispered, "Check the barn." It was my half-brother. And somewhere behind the property, a child screamed.